my friend and I are carrying the tent back. It's rolled up. He's got the front, I've got the back, and we're just carrying this tent. And as we're getting out of the cemetery, into the street light, a man across the street looked at us in horror, and he started backing up away from us. And we looked at each other and we said, are we imagining, was it that guy looking at us? We couldn't figure it out. It was around midnight, and so we went into the house and we talked about that for a while. We didn't know what that was all about. So the next morning, we heard the tragic news about the mayor and his wife, who were killed while they were in bed. Somebody broke in, and apparently stabbed the mayor's wife in the face, and shot the mayor and his wife, and just really, it was pretty brutal and gruesome. The discovery of the mayor in the hallway, dragged himself through the hallway, and there was blood everywhere, blood splattered everywhere. And it was a total shocker. And especially it hit everybody hard, but I was good friends with that family. And I was good friends with his nephew, and I'd actually spent Thanksgiving with the mayor and his wife. So it really was pretty upsetting to all of us. But when we found out about that news, we were still thinking about the night before. And it dawned on us, maybe the guy thought that we were involved in the mayor's murder. Maybe he'd found out about it and saw us and was panicking. It took literally years later before we realized, no, the guy thought we were carrying a dead body. He thought that rolled up tent was a dead body. So that was how oblivious and how innocent we were of the whole thing. But literally that was changed by the next day, the news of the mayor. I was captivated by the whole thing, just as everyone else in town was. And I decided that I would be interested in being at the trial. And went to the local newspaper and asked them if I could, if they'd be interested in hiring me as a courtroom artist. I was 17. And they gave me a tryout. And they said, all right, sit here in this office for a half hour, draw everybody in the office. We'll come back and see how well you've done. So I did it, and then they said, yeah, you're hired, we'll take you. Not too long after that, Richard Nixon was coming into town. This person really represented some kind of archetype for me, and I had to see him, I had to sketch him. I had whatever way I could get there to be part of that and document the moment. I got a ticket, and I got to sit up in the front, and I got to do sketches, like courtroom art sketches. That was the first presidential portrait I did, and he signed all the drawings. He kept one of them. Using my skills to document an event, whether it was in the courtroom or the appearance of a president. That was all a direct outcome from that tragic event in my hometown, where I was able to discover that I could turn portraiture into something of meaning, documenting history or historical figures. Really, this piece really stemmed from the Museum of Sex. It more or less contacted the gallery, and that I showed the Britney Spears piece, the sculpture of Britney Spears giving birth on Bearskin Road. And it's based on the idea presented by Sharon Stone during promotion of Basic Instinct 2, that the United States isn't ready to elect a woman with so much sexual power. Hillary Clinton still having sexual power, she's a threat, therefore probably too soon for her to be elected. And that was intriguing enough for me. Right now I have it nude just to get the forms right, and the forms are kind of compressed here because I am going to put this evening gown, low-cut evening gown. But it's presenting Hillary Clinton in a very beautiful composition, where just bare-shouldered, bare back, right here, because she normally dresses up, and she wears something very high and doesn't reveal her cleavage. So I'm really showing her in a way that she's not normally seen. And I'm instilling in this image a degree of sexuality, and we're presenting this portrait as the first presidential portrait of Hillary Clinton, the first woman president. And so it's really a juxtaposition of a presidential portrait in a very revealing kind of way. And this portrait is scheduled for display at the Museum of Sex in July. And truth be told, when Bill Clinton was president, I personally always found I was very attracted to Hillary Clinton, so I mean, that's a no-brainer for me. This is not the same as doing that portrait of President Nixon in his presence, but I'm trying to instill the same idea of importance in the moment. And right now, the moment being that Hillary Clinton could potentially be the next president, and she could potentially be the first woman president. So there's a certain kind of, even though she's not modeling for this, there's a certain kind of importance of the moment documenting this concept that is instilled in the piece. I'm grateful for the opportunities I've had that came from a tragic event. I'm grateful to be able to still put the importance into my work. This is my portrait of B.B. King. It's wax, it's direct wax, and I would take this into the nightclub where he's performing, wherever it was, Memphis, Chicago, New York, wherever I would see him. And I'd just sit up in the front right by the stage and just sculpt while he's performing. And at the end of the show, I would get backstage and show it to him, the progress of it. And one time he signed it for me right here to document it. And I flew across country. I flew to California 3 times to see John Lee Hooker the same way. And he was too sick to leave California, so I'd fly to see his shows there, and I'd get backstage and sculpt it some more. But, you know, to me, these men are very historical, very important, and to sculpt them while they're performing, I just couldn't think of a greater honor for me to be able to do something like that, you know. So I've done a couple hundred portraits, not a couple hundred, maybe 150 portraits similar to this. Blues figures, Olympic gold medalists, baseball players. And some of them are more finished than others, obviously. But just in case you need.